Pilsner, but when I do.
No. I don't always drink beer. But when I do, it's
No.
Oh, you got your...
I was going the other way. You know, we got thirsty, and it ends up in the venue. The only thing we have around here nowadays is Punxsutawney Philsner. So
yeah, one of the finest beers of the land.
Tis the season.
Right.
So.
Tis the season.
It's like eggnog on Christmas.
That's
exactly.
Right. Happy
exactly.
Groundhog Day.
Happy Groundhog.
Happy Groundhog Day, gentlemen.
Be festive.
You gotta be festive. Damn good beer.
It is. It is good. So you two are in the inner circle. What does that mean?
Well, the Inner Circle is a group of 15 volunteers that put on the national holiday Groundhog Day. We perpetuate the legend of Punxsutawney Phil. And Punxsutawney Phil is of course, the groundhog that is the only true weather predicting groundhog in the world and resides here in Punxsutawney.
That's right.
And the Inner Circle is those that hold and protect that legend and perpetuate it on and hold the celebration of Groundhog Day.
Yeah, the Inner Circle is the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club has several levels, tiers. You can be a member of anybody can be a member of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club. You can join. There's a small annual.
Just got to pay your money online.
Small annual fee, but you get a newsletter. You get inducted into the club. You get invited to the members only reception, which is always here in Punxsutawney right before Groundhog Day. So that's your base level membership. Then there are, I believe there's lifetime memberships, and then there are emeritus members, which are Inner Circle members who have retired. There are retired, just straight retired guys, and then the current active Inner Circle, which basically acts as the board for the club. So that's the 15 of us, the Inner Circle members. We're all members of the club.
Yeah. How did you come to join the club in the first place? Like, was it something you guys always wanted to do?
Well, of course, growing up here, I always loved it. One of my best friends was J.T. Cooper, who the president of the club back in those days was Bill Cooper, his father. So I grew up around it the whole time. We would go up, every year in high school, and then get into college. We'd bring. I mean, you go to college and you say, "Hey, where are you from?" And you say Punxsutawney. Everybody's like, "Oh, Punxsutawney Phil, Groundhog Day, yeah." It's like, "You want to go?" And they're like, Yeah, that sounds really cool. So we just have a huge party all night long, get up to the knob, see Phil come out, do his thing. So it was just always, something I wanted to do. I've always dreamed about. I love attention, of course. And that was, where else in my life, living in Punxsutawney, could I get the most attention that I possibly get? If you put me on stage in front of thousands of people, let's do it. So that was, and I kind of live that way in my daily life. Sometimes I try to grab all the attention I can. Sometimes it's to a fault. Well, most of the time.
So somebody noticed. So somebody noticed.
I'm aware of it. So it's not a problem, right?
He's open about
it. The first part is denial. Is that
no, you're not.
Or something. Anyway,
other problems.
So anyway, in doing such, I was recognized by some of the Inner Circle members that hey. We're doing the stage show now, and they were getting into their late 50s and even their 60s. And they're like, we need somebody new and younger up here doing this, and it's like that guy.
Yeah, and they need a special person too. So, what was your path?
Well, this guy was the major champion for getting me into the club, but I came a definitely different path. I am not from Punxsutawney, and I'm married. My wife is from Punxsutawney, so that's how I ended up here. And Dave, when I came to town, I was just trying to get involved in different things, and one of them was the local theater arts guild needed people to be in their production. Yeah. And
needed a lead character in it.
Well, I didn't know that.
In a play that was 2.5 hours long, the lead character never left the stage and spoke.
I saw an ad in the paper. I said, "Oh, they need a guy." I don't know. I thought I'd be the waiter. I don't know, walk across the stage.
I'm going to be a standing tree.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be the tree. And so it turns out it was the lead. It was the lead. So I took this on, and I did that, and Dave saw me.
Oh my goodness!
And then
2.5 hours, he nailed every line.
It was a long play,
like a pro.
Wow. But so then, unbeknownst to me, the Groundhog Club was going through this transition where the older guys were saying that I don't want to do the stage show.
They were telling me, "Hey, you can."
So they said to Dave, "You can do the stage show." And he says, "Well, I'll do it, but I'm not doing it alone." apparently.
I said who in the club's
The inner
join me?
circle kind of went.
Yeah.
Everybody in the room just was
So they said there's nothing that states the stage show has to be hosted by an inner circle member. So you go ask whoever you want. So he had seen me in play. He said, "Would you like to do this with me?" I said, "Absolutely. I'm all in." So I did it for 3 years, not being a member.
Yeah.
We hosted together. And then when there was an opening, I said, "Well, Dan,
he's been working his tail off for
So,
this.
of course.
that was my path in. It was not the traditional."
Rightfully deserved. It sounds
Thank
like.
you, but it was
Definitely.
not. I definitely did not grow up dreaming about being in the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club.
Yeah.
Growing up not in Punxsutawney.
So you guys have a favorite Groundhog Day story?
Well, I got a couple ways to answer that, but the short answer is last year, the Thunder Conductor challenged one of the Philette featured
Sammy.
dancers. So again,
Classic.
part of the stage show is we always feature 6 to 8 senior girls, seniors at the Punxsutawney High School, who are
not old ladies dancing up there.
no, not senior citizens. Seniors in high school, about to graduate from Punxsutawney High School, they become the Philette featured dancers. And they're the official dancers of Groundhog Day that year. Last year, another feature of the stage show is the T-shirt cannon. And this thing that we have fires these T-shirts. We throw away all these T-shirts or give them away to. This thing will shoot them over the crowd. I mean, it's really, really high-powered T-shirt cannon. Last year, Dave, in an improvisational thing, he wondered after firing the T-shirt so far, like, what is the power of this thing? And challenged one of the Philette featured dancers to shoot him at close proximity with
The stage isn't that big.
and the stage is not as small as you think.
That's truly unbelievable.
And I just stood back, and I remember, I was 5 feet away, and I watched this girl.
You didn't really have too much concern about this?
I had some, and she shot him, and I could not control
Hopefully
myself.
she had good aim.
She hit him center of mass, as they teach you in the police academy.
Wow.
And he went down.
Slow motion.
And I genuinely had a little laugh.
I even had my hand there, like
attack.
protecting myself. Like,
You have to.
Oh, you're gonna shoot me? And it was just like, boom.
She shot him at point blank, and that was
I mean, I can see you coming up with
110
that
PSI.
idea and having no hesitation.
So
'Cause
Groundhog
we
Day, come. This is a new tradition.
Yeah, come watch Thunder get shot.
Sorry, Dave. This
We
is a
actually-
new thing we're going to do now.
We actually
annually.
made,
We may, now that you say that, yeah. This is the time. Now we'll say, okay, it's it's 4:51 a.m. This is the time we shoot Thunder every year. So gather around, children.
happy hour, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, right,
5 o'clock's happy
It's
hour.
5 o'clock. It's happy hour. Now we shoot Thunder. So gather around.
We're
everyone.
half price at happy hour.
Okay.
So yeah, that I don't know. That Dave, he's been doing this longer than me, and he's been going to Groundhog Day a lot longer than me. But that's one of my favorites. My other favorite is just before I was an Inner Circle member. Before I lived in Punxsutawney.
Where did you live previously?
I grew up in a small town outside of Pittsburgh called Oakmont.
Okay.
But I used to go to Groundhog Day.
Okay.
I had a buddy who had cousins up here. Again, it all ties back to Punxsutawney. But so I used to come, and I remember I would go to Groundhog Day. We would stand in this one spot out in the crowd. And fast forward, whatever it was, 10 years later, I was on stage with Thunder, and I looked out at that spot, and my buddy was standing there. And I had traveled somehow through that crowd and up the steps and into a top hat, and I remember thinking that,
Wow, that's a special moment.
ain't it bizarre? Yes.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Ain't it bizarre?
Well,
Crazy
so many memories of Groundhog Day. Also, way back, the way back when is in one of my first college days. Was the year Bill Murray came to witness Groundhog Day before they made the movie.
That's perfect timing for you.
So they made this special.
Wait, you said that was your first time?
No. That was one of the times
Oh, okay.
back before I actually became an Inner Circle member.
Alright.
But he was actually coming down off this platform they had built down a stairway as Groundhog Day was ending, and I was walking out and I physically ran into him.
Wow.
So like he happened to be at the bottom of the steps at that moment, and I'm walking by, and we had been partying all night, and I was overserved and having a good time, and I actually run into Bill Murray, and I gave him an attempted rendition of his Caddyshack. Hey Bill, I said, how you doing there? I said, pleasure to meet you there.
I'm sure he was blown away.
He shook my hand. It was pretty poor. But that was like, I saw Punxsutawney Phil and Bill Murray on the same day. That was a big highlight.
That reminds us, because we saw.
That's
Sorry to cut you off,
another.
but that, like,
I was gonna just tell the story.
It just came fresh to my head. But we met Ned Ryerson.
Yeah.
In the elevator at the Panel Hotel.
I wanna tell.
We were very young. You could tell it. Yeah.
Okay, so, when we were kids, when we were in like middle school or early high school, we would just walk around town all night, and then we'd go up at the end, and we were at the Panel Hotel. I don't know whose idea it was. Like, we just thought we could just go up
to the rooftop,
even though it was the rooftop's a bar. So anyway, we go up in the elevator, and we get to the front. And the guys at the door are like, okay, yeah, you turn around and go back. And some guy, Jake used to have
nice
Jerry
afro.
curls, and
Big
some
afro.
guy from the bar said, hey, it's the Jonas Brothers, and everybody
Kevin
erupted.
Byers has long, he always had long hair. I had a big afro. So he sees us, and for some reason, it's the Jonas Brothers. And like,
The whole crowd
everyone
went nuts.
automatically believes for some reason. I have no idea why.
Why not?
So, and then we get back into the elevator, and it's us.
I mean, after being turned away.
After being turned away.
The Jonas Brothers were rebuffed.
Yeah, we got Jonas Brothers
Sent
kicked
back,
out of
right,
the Panel
okay.
rooftop.
And then when we were in the elevator, we were in it with Mike Johnson,
Former
The big flake maker.
flake maker, inner
So
circle
it
member.
was him, and then there was like another guy, and it did not make I didn't make the connection right away. But then he's like, you boys know who you're in the elevator with? We're like, no. He's like, this is Ned Ryerson. It was really cool. Like,
Bing! Ned Ryerson.
Yeah, he came that year. I think he was the guest speaker, and right? Was he the speaker at the banquet that year?
Yeah. And then didn't he did the whistling belly button trick on stage that year, I believe.
Yes, he did.
The actor's name, what's it?
Tobolewski.
Yeah?
Yeah, he did the whistling belly button trick. It was quite. His wife held the microphone, and it was quite impressive.
That's some real behind the scenes stuff there.
Yeah.
Yes, look at that. We got celebrities in our hometown.
Yeah, dude.
Well, yeah.
We've had, I mean,
Who
big
else?
for us in our generation was like when like Bam Margera came.
I guess he wasn't the most.
Yeah.
It wasn't well.
He wasn't the
received,
most well received.
Well, I mean, everybody was.
Well, he announced he was coming to steal Phil.
Yeah,
I mean,
so it was. That was.
He did kind of.
Yeah.
The state police
started off with.
State police tempered that. The security there is top notch. I mean, there are people in the crowd that don't look like counterterrorists. Don't look like police officers, and they're
Well,
watching.
Phil does get death threats, man.
He's pretty tightly watched.
What the heck?
Well, sometimes some people can't handle the forecast,
Yeah.
But we had a friendly. Some people just fall too in love with Phil. Like at the bar the other night when we were doing our songs, we took Phil up, and we had a fan of Phil that all she wanted to do was touch him. She wanted to pet him. She wanted to stick him under her coat and run out the door with him. And she knows she can't because she'll probably go to jail if she does, but she was trying to talk herself out of it all night. I mean, that's all she... Because people just get so infatuated sometimes to, a little bit stronger degree.
It really is a phenomenon.
Stereotypical stalker. I mean, she was...
For Phil.
yeah. She was a Phil stalker. Through and through. I can spot him. You can spot him as soon as I walk in the door. That was a stalker.
Keep your eyes.
Yeah. She couldn't hide. She couldn't hold.
She couldn't hide it. She wanted. Oh, I think he's getting hot in there. Don't you want to take that lid off? That container that you're holding him in?
You want to take off. Let him breathe.
Yeah. So she wanted to stick her hand in there like immediately, and then we all would have just been a bloody mess after that because.
And
Phil wouldn't accept that.
No. And he's a kind.
He's a graceful.
He's a
creature.
he's a
But he wants graceful people.
Soul.
Give respect.
But as with any celebrity, you can't just run up and grab. touch and
Exactly.
You can't invade the personal space, and Phil
Can't run up to him and
Unless
ask
you
for a
run into
selfie.
them.
All right.
right. Well, right. If it happens,
It's an
But
accident.
Phil knows us and specifically his handlers, but outside of that, yeah, you shouldn't just bum rush him.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Word to the wise, because he will bite through the bone.
He's
Have
strong.
either of
boy.
you experienced?
Oh yeah,
I'm still healing up on that one.
we have the scars.
That was back here. It's grown out. But yeah.
I was a rookie and we were late for an appearance and Phil was acting up and I said, well, we got to go, Phil. And I reached down a little too aggressively, admittedly. And he said, okay, Junior, well, you're going to learn the hard way. And he bit through it. And I did successfully pick him up and we got on our way. But on our way, I was just bleeding out, like it was no end.
Like, I mean, it's funny when AJ, Griff, when they go see them, they walk right up to them and
Yeah.
put
Well,
their
they-
hands
they
right, pet
almost have this, like,
them,
weird
grab
mystical
them,
bond
because
with-
they see them every day.
They're the
Yeah.
handler.
Yeah, they're the handlers.
They're the
They feed them
handlers,
every day. They see them every day.
Yeah.
They handle them every day.
They do have a
They got
special...
like us.
They have a,
Yeah,
you can see that special relationship, and then, if you're there and like, well,
But they don't understand Groundhogese, right?
no, just the president only when he
President
says the
deal.
cane.
Yeah.
And the groundhog ease that Phil speaks and the president can interpret, he is granted that power through the cane.
Yes.
The cane that President Dealey holds now, that previous presidents have, is passed down, and when it is passed down, you will learn groundhog ease. We don't know it. Nobody else in the club knows it.
Is there a dream to know it, or do you think that's for someone else? You guys found
That's kind of a tough
your
question.
place.
Oh, we're happy on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, be the president someday.
Oh well.
Don't speak for him.
Yeah. Well,
Remember me and my.
as Dave announced in the first act, he's big on attention. So go for it. You and a cane? Speaking of groundhog ease, I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah, that seems like a high possibility.
sure. Somebody's got to do it. Although we're happy with
No,
President
you
You
Dealey.
guys
I'm
are
just-
honestly in the perfect position, and I don't think no one on earth right now could do it.
You asked
better
me.
than
You asked me.
guys.
Do you want to be the president of the Groundhog Club, or do you want to do the stage show?
Yeah,
I'll be up on
exactly.
stage as
Exactly.
long as these
That's what
legs
we got,
and this body allows.
Yeah, at some point we're gonna have to step down, like when it gets
When it gets
sad.
awkward.
When it gets sad. When it gets sad.
Hey, Dan!
Oxygen mask. Your oxygen's freezing.
Dan!
When we're members of AARP, it's time to maybe step down. But then you two can step in. So
Oh my.
yeah,
It's a lot of weight already.
You gotta think about the future. So no, we're not going anywhere for a while. And hopefully neither is President Dealey. We love him.
Exactly. I mean, you guys got to seem like a perfect team, right?
We got a great
Dealey,
crowd.
Dealey.
Dealey.
That's right.
It's the only way I won't say it for Bud Light, but I'll say it for Bo Dealey.
Dealey.
It's the first time I ever said that, actually. I want to make sure the camera knows.
So, I mean, you guys mentioned that you were out with Phil at an event. Talk a little bit about what the Inner Circle and the Groundhog Club and Phil, like what you guys all do when it's not Groundhog Day or after Groundhog Day.
That is an evolving answer. From my understanding, the history of the club used to be, before the media latched on, and before the movie and all of that. Groundhog Day was very simple. The traditions are all the same. Not the basics haven't changed, but the Inner Circle would gather at Gobbler's Knob. There would be a few members of the local newspaper or radio station. They would pull Phil out, prognostication, and then everybody went to breakfast. A few months later in the summer, they would have the Groundhog Picnic up at Gobbler's Knob, just a reason to get together in nice weather. Mm-hmm. That was about it. As it has gotten bigger, so have the events grown.
Were these old meetings, were they like open to the public, or was just these guys?
It was.
Oh, the Groundhog Day?
Yeah.
The celebration? Oh, yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was just, it was attended by...
Tight-knit thing.
It was attended by people from Punxsutawney.
Yeah.
That
kind
would
of
go
more
up
word
and
of
kind
mouth.
of... Yeah, it was cool. And then...
It was a big beer party for a while.
Yeah, right.
big bonfire, beer party.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And we still hold those basic traditions, but there were certainly, nobody was coming up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was no rock and roll and all that. So that's grown. And then the other events that we do at the Knob now include wine festival and
the Hogtoberfest, which is a craft beer festival.
And there's 5K. You know, we hold races and breakfast with Phil and holiday parties and this and that, which we're all in the inner circle encouraged to attend.
And then taking Phil out.
Yeah,
a lot of times at the request of parades. We do Ligonier Days. That's
Fort Ligonier Days.
Fort Ligonier Days. That's been a parade, and they kind of requested that, hey, can Phil make an appearance? And I'm not sure if they had people see us. We go down for the St. Patrick's Day parade in Pittsburgh, which is like one of the most attended. Not in attendance as in people viewing it, but attended as in participants in the parade. It's one of the biggest parades in the United States on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, and what are you saying? That's one of your favorite. Funnest, you guys.
Hands
funnest
down.
times.
Groundhog Day is the best day.
Yeah, obviously.
And then we all need a break from each other and Phil and all that. And ironically, it's about 6 more weeks before we get together. And usually that is around St. Patrick's Day and the Pittsburgh St. Patrick's Day Parade. Phil is invited, and we take the Philmobile down to Pittsburgh and go through. And that is just... we don't have to do as much prep work. We don't have to. Yeah. It's sort of their
like
party.
And you had like the cool down after Groundhog Day.
You're a guest.
We've had 6 weeks to hibernate, and now we're coming back, and it's like they're putting on the party. You know, the parade organizers, and we're a part of it.
We're just a part of it, yeah. But we ramp it up. We turn up the tunes. We dance down the street like nobody's business, and you can see for blocks ahead like the acts in front of us. And they're all doing their good job, and everybody's enjoying the heck out of it. But when you hear those, a lot of times we'll play our parody songs over the loudspeakers.
Yeah.
And they start to hear it, and people realize, and we're screaming at the same time.
And
at least I am.
Of course, yeah.
And the Philmobile,
and the seer of seers.
The Philmobile
itself
has a
platform
out in the front, which we place Phil on. So he's literally like this
hood ornament.
Beautiful hood ornament coming down the parade route, and when people see him, they go absolutely crazy. I mean,
you know, in parking garages, you could just see people like coming out to the edges and cheering. Where when everybody else went by, they were enjoying it. They were having a good time.
Yeah.
But when they see Phil, people just go.
Yeah, I mean, he really has that effect.
Yeah.
He does, and they love him, and that is by far one of my favorite days of the year. For sure. You know, other than Groundhog.
We have to go down
I mean, what else
man.
did you... Didn't one year you guys did, like, Needs Hotel with Slim and...
Well, no. Well, so then after the parade is officially over, we linger in Pittsburgh, and we make a few stops. And, the Needs Hotel, which has since shut down.
Sadly, the Needs Hotel is
closed. But for years, they had a fabulous fish sandwich. And they used to have live music, and so we would always pop in there. And
Slim Forsythe. He's.
I remember the first year we did this. Well, first year I was in the club, and the parade's over, and we said, "All right, well, let's go get lunch or something to drink." And we pull the Philmobile up outside of a bar. We all hop out. A couple guys grab Phil's carrier, and we're walking into this bar and restaurant. And I said to one of the older members, I said, "Can we take a groundhog into a restaurant?" You know, general question.
That's a good question to ask, yeah.
Yeah, is this even allowed? I said, "Can you take a groundhog into a restaurant?" He said, "Buddy, let me tell you something about this club. We ask for forgiveness, not permission."
I like that.
Yeah, sweet.
And we walked in, and before anybody could even say, "Well, wait a minute, is this even allowed?" We had a drink, had lunch, taken a few pictures, and we rolled out. So it's no.
And everybody in the bar wanted to get their picture taken with Punxsutawney Phil. Everywhere you go with Phil, everybody just enjoys him immensely. Wants to get their picture with him. Wants to get a picture of him.
Yep.
It's just a great thing.
Yeah.
He's popular.
It really is.
So, Groundhog Day is coming up. And we talked a lot about the stage show and everything, but I guess for someone that is thinking about coming, like broad scope, what can they expect this year?
This year, Saturday, we're looking at
guys.
20, 30, 40,000 people. Depends on the weather, depends on
Yeah.
travel,
Yeah,
depends on,
Saturday
it could
crowd.
be,
Right.
you know,
Saturday,
every event we have is booked out. The buzz is enormous compared to even previous years.
That's good to hear.
So it's it looks like we're in for a doozy.
Kevin
There's
Byers,
some connections there.
Punxsutawney,
Yep.
rock and roll guy,
Yeah.
local gunslinger.
Yeah.
We're gonna
We
bring
brought him in. We brought him in. We brought him in.
brought
just
him
saying-
in because, like I said, we like to feature punksy talent.
Yeah.
And in the past we have done some parody songs, and we usually like record some over. We basically record us singing over a karaoke version,
Yeah.
and then we perform that live. Well, this year we thought, let's actually do them live.
Yeah.
And since Dave and I don't have any musical talent, I'm sorry, Dave's a tambourinist. Dave's a
He is a
magnificent
master
tambourinist.
man.
Yeah,
Tambourine Man.
tambourine man.
watch your words, Dan.
I don't know, is it a tambourinist?
Call
No.
me a penis. Timber.
Other than Dave's tambourine skills, we are limited in that department. So we brought Kevin in, and he's going to be able to play his guitar live while we perform the parody songs this year. This year's going to be, you know, town, and the festivities and activities are going to be pretty packed. If you're a first timer here, you know, hopefully you've planned ahead a little bit, and you know you have, you know, lodging and all of that. But if you got the basics covered, I would just say, you know, come up early, enjoy the show, take it all in, but also, you know, check out the other activities. I mean, there's a lot to offer. It's
I mean, down in the park downtown there's always stuff going on.
yeah, Barclay Square.
Like you said, Katie Donald, who organizes things for us, she does a fantastic job of keeping, you know, entertainment going on all day down there. People down there with information. If you need to get around, what you can do, what else is going on at different places in town. Community center always shows the movie Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
That's another thing people get to do. And they actually have a crash pad, so people coming from out of town that don't have a place to stay oftentimes can go to our community center.
Yeah.
And just pay a nominal fee to, you know, it's an old junior high school building that's turned into our community center. So it's big, it has classrooms, it has hallways. People bring sleeping bags, and they call it the crash pad.
Yeah, if you don't want to stay up all night, that's an option.
So you can do that.
If
Or
you
people
do
just
want to
come,
stay up all
people
night,
just come stay up all night, go to the Knob, see Phil, go eat breakfast, and
4 different shuttle stations where you can catch a bus up to, you know, depending on what part of town you're hanging out in.
I guess for anyone that doesn't know, there is there's a certain point that you can't drive to. You have to walk. It's probably like a mile or 2
right from
miles.
Walmart, the road that goes past Scholar's Knob down to the other end of town, they shut that road down to traffic.
Yeah, because I mean the tradition is that you walk, and so I mean it's just too many people walking to have the additional traffic. But you, like he mentioned, there's shuttles.
There are shuttles that start running at 2 a.m. and then once after Phil's prediction, they run continuously until
Everybody's off
everyone's
the knob.
off the knob. One of the things in Punxsutawney is there's no school on Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Not because it's some national holiday, right? But for your listeners, because we need the buses. We use the school buses to run everyone around. So
That's right, yeah.
these shuttles that normally are taking kids to school, we need every one of them because we have 4 stations that need to take everyone.
80 school buses.
That are constantly
Rotating
running
constantly.
around.
And
Makes
it's
sense.
what, a 3-mile loop?
I never thought of the scope 80. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
So there's a lot of buses because we just
A lot of people in a lot of places.
keep running them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we've been saying, I mean, come down, you get sucked into one of the funnest spirited atmospheres. It's like the whole town is like an orb of fun. Everyone's in like the same good mood.
And
Everyone you're talking, I mean, there's like interesting people everywhere. And
Everywhere.
there's things going on. People are in
and
high
so,
energy. I mean, I love it. It makes
we get off the knob. We usually have we'll hang out with Phil for a little bit and meet some of the people that were up at the knob. Maybe we have to clean up something or whatever. But we come down into town, and now maybe it's 8 a.m. or 8:30 o'clock or 9 o'clock. people will come up to us. They notice us in tuxedos and top hats as inner circle members, and they'll come up to us and they're excited. And when you hear where they came from, I'm just as excited. Like, I mean, you came from what? I can't even. Yeah, I can't even understand.
Yeah.
You know, there's an accent or a language barrier. Yeah. You came from Spain, or you came from. It's amazing the people you meet. So I love to sort of just mill around town in those early morning hours, because the people you meet are great. They're so enthusiastic, and they've been up all night and they're so energized, and they're so appreciative.
It's really an uplifting thing.
It really is.
I did a video for you guys. One person in particular was John, who sits in the corner.
His name's John Lovitz.
Yeah. John Lovitz. I almost wanted to be sure, because this is an actor.
Not that John Lovitz.
Yeah. Lovitch.
John Lovitch.
John Lovitch. It's Lovitz. And you can find him because I don't know if he's the current, but doesn't he hold the world record for the world's largest gingerbread village?
Village, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, wow. this guy is from New York City, and when I spoke to him...
He used to be, I think, one of the... I'm not sure if I'm accurate on this, but he was one of the head chefs at the Marriott in downtown Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
You know, I believe that's something along those lines, and he recently left that to that. Now he's touring with parts of his gingerbread village around the United States and eventually around the world, because he currently, and like he said, holds the world record year after year. Others in the world try to outdo him, and he whips up that sugar icing and gumdrops and candy canes and builds a village bigger than the year before.
He is so fanatic.
He's a super fan.
Okay.
He's been to 25 or 20,
28. I think.
28 straight Groundhog days.
Oh my God.
He's is the first guy, once you're allowed to pour in, he's one of the first guys. He stands in the same exact spot every year, and he's been doing it for 28 years.
Yeah. And you have a plaque? Isn't there a plaque with his name on it up there?
I think he brings that.
Oh, he brings
I think it's even better.
That's great.
But yeah, no, if you think we did that for him,
if you're thinking about Groundhog Day, if you like fun and you like fun people, these are the types of people that are going. I mean, it was really interesting, like hearing what, like, I think that year, like, the Super Bowl was in New York City, and he's like, it wasn't easy to get this weekend off, but I couldn't miss it, you know.
He the way he talks about it, he actually stays at the same place, the Plantation Bed and Breakfast up on the hill. He has a big crowd of people that they're not necessarily from the same place or knew each other outside of it, but they come back every year, you know, and they get together. And he basically said it's kind of a release. You kind of let go of the everyday work, you know, hard work that he does, you know, whether it was his job or in the background he was making, you know, he had a room or rooms dedicated in his house to houses that were going to go in this gingerbread village. He made them all year long that eventually then compiled them into this village that Gingerbread Lane, I believe, is his like Facebook page or something like that.
Just needs a release from Gingerbread Lane.
So he needed, you know, and then he found just that you could be whoever you wanted to be. You could just come to Punxsutawney and just have a good time, and you weren't really judged. And everybody was here for, you know, what's that quote, Dan? There's a lot of serious things in life.
Groundhog Day is not one of them. And you have to have a little.
I love that.
You have to have a little bit of a. There's got to be some quirk in you that is attracted to this tradition. This holiday is not. Yeah. It's not normal.
No offense to any of the.
No offense. No. I mean, it's brought all of us.
Yeah. Celebration.
I mean, not.
Yeah.
We're the.
They're your spokesman.
We're the spokesman for you.
We made it part of our lives.
Yeah. A big part of our lives.
Self-admittedly.
What are you doing right now? The last 4 months.
Something's got to be, you know. It's a certain kind of personality that loves Groundhog Day, and that personality just happens to be fun-loving.
We don't know the guy's name nor where he's from, but he wears a pink
bunny suit
every year. Well, it's kind of a groundhogish,
I guess.
But it's like a sweatsuit. It's a pink sweatsuit.
It's animalistic. There's a guy that shows up in some old sweatsuit that is.
But he's been coming here for ever since I started.
Yeah, I
think
noticed
it's
him every
11
year.
years
I
for
don't know
me,
when he
but-
started, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't seen this guy.
I think I have. I think I remember him.
Yeah,
He was a-
he's a great fan. He's a great fan.
Yeah.
But you get in the guy in the banana suit the last couple of
yeah,
years.
you guys get.
You know, so you get all types from everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and the people the couple from Japan, and they came and we talked to them, and it's like, well, you're doing like an East Coast tour. Is it about, you know, did you stop here along the way? They're like, no, we came from Japan for Groundhog Day, and we're leaving tomorrow to go back to Japan. It's like
it happens.
Like that's
Yeah,
what they that's their trip.
Yeah.
They
My
did it.
God.
They came. They did
Yeah.
Groundhog Day, and then they moved on. Everything else, you know, the Statue of Liberty and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't need to come here for that. But
That's another trip, you know.
Yeah.
We're here in Punxsutawney.
that thing means nothing compared to Phil.
Everyone in Punxsutawney on Groundhog Day is smiling. It's wonderful. It's a great day. It's great.
It is. And seeing like the free spiritedness of everything.
Yeah.
Like you saying, like a guy in a pink bunny suit or a guy in a banana suit. You don't even think twice about seeing someone like that. It's like, oh, okay.
No,
We're
everybody's-
supposed to have things like this.
It's quirky. It's
Nothing's-
everybody can wear funny
Nothing
groundhog
super.
hats.
Nothing is stranger than the event itself.
Yeah, exactly.
We're waiting
How
all
can
night.
you top that?
We're waiting all night long in the middle of the woods, in the middle of the winter, in the middle of the night for a groundhog to tell us the weather forecast. So nothing is off limits.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right, man.
And that's
Jump in,
really
barriers-
defining.
Barriers have been breached.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, what are you supposed to wear? A three-piece suit? This is ridiculous. You know, just
Yeah.
come on. You know,
And people wouldn't bat an eye if you did wear a three-piece suit.
jump right in. Well, that's true. Actually, I shouldn't say that because actually, we also have a fan who comes dressed as us.
As us with a top hat.
He comes
with
in,
bow
yeah.
Is
ties.
that allowed?
It's allowed until
Everything's
it's allowed until he tries
impersonation.
to.
Until he-
Like,
until
impersonation.
he-
No,
he
it's
tries-
flattering. It's
More
flattering.
sincere form of flattery.
It's
Yeah.
flattering until
But-
he tries to
To sneak into
ride the
places and get-
coattails.
maybe
Up the
trying to
steps
get
and onto the steps.
some.
Or he, you know, tries to present himself to others as that, which is
Right.
then getting in the board, you know, the
But
lines
you
of
can
not
snuff them
appropriate.
out. There's only one
You can't imitate you guys. You can. I mean,
Well, we know each other too. So.
obviously,
Yeah, there's only 15 of us. So. Like, who's the 16th guy?
Yeah.
He's new. Yeah.
He's new.
You'll get to know. Yeah.
I just mean like in general. They gotta know that guy's an imposter.
No, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no,
actually,
yeah.
the
it's
top
hard to
hat- the
compete
top
with you
hat
guys.
was
We'll see how many people.
The top hat was a giveaway. He had one of those like costume ones.
Yeah, the plastic
Yeah.
type deals. Yeah, not that's.
Yeah. That was his only mistake.
So the banquet's on the 1st. There's a new inner circle member coming up. I'll
Yep.
let that. Yeah, I don't know if you want to speak on that at all. Whatever you're.
Well, we had been shorthanded. We had 14 members, and for 3 years,
Usually
Oh,
it does not go that long, but it was.
That's how long you've been shorthanded.
we
What's the normal number of?
the magic number is
So you've been-
15.
14.
And
15.
Okay.
No, yeah.
15 is the number that you want,
right.
but you've been at 14.
We've been at 14.
Bob Roberts passed away, and it was
yeah.
hard shoes to fill because
Yes.
he was
Yeah.
such an integral
Local
member.
legend.
Did so many things.
Yep.
And
And that's one thing, when somebody retires, that's, you know, at times the replacement for that person is someone that's going to fill their shoes.
Yep.
For instance,
You almost try to.
a great past member was Steve Means.
Mhm.
He took care of the knob, plowed everything, made sure the grounds were fit for 20,000 people to safely attend an event in the middle of the woods in the middle of winter and do it right.
Big responsibility.
A big responsibility. When he stepped down, you go like, what are we gonna do?
Who's doing
We got,
that, yeah.
I know how to plow snow, but maybe not that good, or have the time to do it like he did.
Mhm.
And that's how AJ DeRoom actually became into the inner circle, because AJ was around it, his father was a member, but AJ was around it, and AJ helped Steve. AJ put his time in ahead of being a member by participating in those kind of things, and he knew how to do it, and he's a committed guy that
Yeah.
knows how to do that kind of thing. And now he's graduated from that. Now he's one of the handlers, you know, so he doesn't plow snow anymore.
Yeah.
Well put.
I mean, it is. it's cool for us to see like the newer people that we've known
People
before.
that
Right.
are true, like,
Yeah.
I mean, we are friends with all you guys, obviously, but, I mean, these
So,
are
yeah,
starting
the-
to become kids that truly...
So the guy
know
we finally voted in to fill the shoes left by the great Bob Roberts, young guy, jewelry Syrian, punksy guy. He will be officially sworn in on Groundhog Eve at the banquet, where he will be given his nickname by President Dealey. Again, who knows what Dealey's going to say in that moment. We're all very excited and anxious.
And you got Moonshine.
Yes.
Is there any
Well,
specific reason, or
yeah, a couple things. I mean, I know some people associate it with the liquor instinctively, but Dave and I, our primary responsibility is the stage show,
yeah?
which is from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. until Phil comes out. So we operate under the moon. We are at the night of we are
We're the night shift.
right. We're
Yeah.
the night shift. So Phil comes out at dawn.
Yeah.
Right at dawn is when Phil makes his prediction. Prior to that, we're under the shine of the moon. So that's
And I was
I didn't know that.
back when President Bill Cooper was president.
Yeah.
I was brought into the club with the intention of doing the stage show, so he gave me the Thunder Conductor title,
Okay.
which thunder being the crowd noise and
Yeah,
the conductor of that. So that
Yeah.
was
It's fitting.
that was
Very
that was
fitting
very good.
names.
But so we're back to 15.
That's good.
15 strong.
15 guys, all hands on deck. So it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, it sounds like you said, he's really
Yeah.
into it. He's really passionate
he's-
about it.
He's always been.
I think he's a good
He's
good
just
selection.
one solid individual.
He has always flown the Groundhog flag well, and he too has put in his time. I mean, he would volunteer his time on the weekends, getting close to Groundhog Day to clean up the grounds. And
Well, every
put in his time.
day is a work day. Even like that's how a lot of people get on too. Is the days were work days that half the inner circle members showed up and the other half didn't.
Yeah.
There's still other community members that are friends or just care.
Mhm.
And he was always one of them that was always there to show
Yeah.
up and put his time well beyond everybody else.
Yeah, I do think, like, when I look at the newer members, like, you do have the people that help with the production, like AJ, who's going to go up and make sure things are running right. And then you have people like, I know we mentioned AJ and Jory. Then we have, like, Pat O. And I think
Pat
he
O's-
has, like, he's the spirit for Groundhog. I think
Oh, yeah.
he's very personable, and, like, that it's cool. It there is a formula to it, even if it's not on purpose. I feel like it is always the right guys that end up.
Seems to be good,
There.
like perfect.
Well,
fit,
it's
almost like-
also I feel that once you're bestowed that honor, I mean, it's an honor to be asked to be a member of the Groundhog Club.
Mhm.
Just being from the small town and having that little glimpse of being a big fish in that small pond, just for that day. But at the same time, it brings out the best in you. It lightens your spirit. It makes you feel part of something. I mean, you feel part of your family. You have your wife and your kids. You feel part of your parents, and you feel part of your friends. But it gives you, that something that's out there that the world recognizes.
Yeah.
That you're now a part of. That just gives you that little extra.
Get you up
Pizzazz.
in the morning. Yeah, it can get you up in the morning. It's
Yeah.
fun.
So we really enjoy it. We look forward to it every year and plan for it every year.
Yeah.
For months and months and months. But
We're getting down to crunch time too, so we got
Yeah.
some final touches to take care of this week. But sometimes, we're also at the mercy of the weather. Like those guys that put in the time and the to get the grounds ready, and people think, well, the grounds are ready and it's outsourced and it's or the buses, they so and so's doing it. It's the inner circle members, friends and family and volunteers of those members or members of Punxsutawney. This is a holiday for sure that we share with the world. But make no mistake, this is a Punxsutawney tradition. It is.
Oh,
It is. It's run and it's operated by good people from Punxsutawney who take pride in their community and are happy to help. And we get excellent help. I mean, the state police are are here to keep us safe and professional EMTs and all that. But as far as the prep work goes, grounds and stage show and entertainment and activities, it's in house.
Yeah, and it's an impressive.
Give it a try.
It's the national holiday where you can actually
meet
the character that
like
bestows the holiday. I mean, you go to Christmas and you can see Santa's helpers. Those guys that go to the stores and help Santa, but that's not they don't never get to see the real Santa, or you never get to see the Easter Bunny and hang out with the Easter Bunny, and the leprechauns on St. Patrick's Day aren't ever around. They're over there hoarding all their gold at the end of the rainbow, but
Phil is real.
Punxsutawney Phil, you can come to Punxsutawney.
Is that St. Patrick's Day as well?
Leprechauns?
Yeah, all right.
I knew what he was talking about.
No, that's good.
But then you can go to Punxsutawney and you can,
you're right.
You can actually get on.
You're hanging out with the stars.
You can get on Groundhog.org and get to be a member of the Groundhog Club, which gets you into the members only reception, which is where all the top hats and Punxsutawney Phil. You can go get a meet and greet with Phil the day before Groundhog Day, and then after he's available all over town to go see him and say hi, and and you got the holiday with the star right in front of you.
Yeah, it's fun.
I have a question that might be fun to close with. I guess it's for each of you. What would you hope your legacy would be in Groundhog Day in the inner circle? For years to come.
I just want everyone to have a good time. I'm not trying to.
You're not looking for a legacy, Dan?
I just want if when Dave and I are done doing the stage show, right, which I feel like is that's our primary job in the club. I hope anybody that came up to Gobbler's Knob during the years we do it can say, hey, you kept us entertained for those hours and kept us warm, and it wasn't boring. That would be it.
Yeah.
Dave, you want to be president? What did you say?
No, the legacy I would be similar to Dan's, but just
there goes the greatest man,
the greatest show on earth. I think Ringling said that about something, and I think he was actually talking about the stage show.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think you might have been wrong.
Yeah, right.
About what he was talking about.
No, yeah, so similar.
Yeah.
So
I said I hope they're not bored. He said it's the greatest thing that's ever, the greatest show that's ever happened. Yeah, okay.
Greatest show on earth.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Tomato.
Yeah. So any last final statements? Anything you want to plug real quick, or?
Groundhog.org
yes.
is the website where you will get all the information. Groundhog. Katie Donald does a great job of keeping it updated for all our events. You'll find all your tickets. You'll find Groundhog paraphernalia, gear to enjoy the holiday wherever you may be. We can get it mailed to you. So groundhog.org. Look at it. You'll see all the events throughout the year, and visit Punxsutawney and come have a good time with us.
Yeah, if you've been waiting to cross it off your bucket list, what are you waiting for?
This is the year.
We're here.
Seems like
and next year,
for
next year, 02/02/2020.
Oh my!
02/02/2020 is the same thing backwards. So it's on a Sunday, Saturday into Sunday. Date significance.
Yeah.
If you're not going to make it this year because it's only a week and a half and you can't do it, start your plans now. Hotel rooms start booking up in Punxsutawney
early as possible
next week for 2020.
Yep.
02/02/2020. Most likely Armageddon. So.
No, it's Mad Hog.
Mad Hog 2020.
Mad Hog 2020.
Mad Hog 2020.
It's reminiscent of the alcohol Mad Dog 2020.
Oh, okay.
Mad Hog
like
2020.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Not that Phil's angry. Don't drive angry.
No, right.
Don't drive angry. So, no, but that's what we, groundhog.org is where you can find all the information about it. And we invite you to come to Punxsutawney and enjoy your times here and have a good time with us and celebrate the high holiday.
Totally.
Perpetuate the legend of Punxsutawney Phil.
Happy Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day 2019, guys.
Happy Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Happy Groundhog Day.
Thank
Cheers.
you guys.
It was a pleasure. Thank you guys.
For coming on. Go to Groundhog Day. Go to groundhog.org. Groundhogday.org. Groundhog.org. Okay,
Groundhog.
Go to Groundhog Day. Go to groundhog.org. Find out all you can. Plan your trip. Stay tuned for the next Cave Planet podcast. I want to thank Dave and Dan again. This was a a real
D&D.
treat for me and Jake.
These guys are the
Well,
greatest.
We'll see you next time then.
And friendly reminder at 5 a.m. February 2nd, we're gonna shoot thunder.
Oh, yep. It's a tradition.
Live on stage.
It's now a tradition. Thanks, guys.
It's beautiful. Thank you, guys. That's sweet. That was good.